Hey, Foundry Groups, it is good to see y'all again. For this week's announcement, I'm going to actually take you next door for something different. So join me on my magic carpet as we swoop on over next door a minute.
Hey everybody, welcome to our new building. It's right next to House of Flavors across from that pond there, so just a short drive or a long walk from the Foundry. As you can see, it's still a bit of a work in progress as we got tape up. They've been painting some of the walls and just giving it a little bit of a facelift here. So come this way a minute. We'll give you a little bit of a tour, but as you'll be able to see, there's a lot of plastic up and not a ton that you can actually get a good glimpse of, but the idea behind this building is to give us a chance to use some good office space once again. So hopefully in the next few weeks we'll be finishing up the paint and then slowly getting the offices back over to this space, which is going to open up a whole lot of doors for us to be able to use even the Foundry building and this space a whole lot differently. So we're so excited for this next season. I want to give you guys in groups a quick little sneak peek. And as we keep moving in this space and making it more our own, we'll do another check-in in a few weeks just to give you guys a glimpse of what it actually looks like without all the plastic and stuff around. So I'm so excited for you guys to see this, and we'll keep you posted soon as we continue working here.
Well, thanks for joining me over there for a few minutes. We are so excited for what is coming next there. And as we start moving some stuff over and start getting a good idea how we're going to use the space, well, we will keep you posted and give you some more tours because that's super fun. So today we're going to jump right into content. This past Sunday and this past weekend, we took a closer look at the when of Christmas. We're in our third week on the Christmas Files, and we have been asking throughout this series some questions. And the main question kind of stems from this idea of sometimes how did they miss it? Right? How did people in the Old Testament miss the coming Messiah when it seems to be when we have all the information just right in front of them? And I think what is so interesting is as we look at this series and as we digest it a little bit and digest it and dissect it, right? Take a closer look at all of these questions. We actually realize that there's things that even in our lives that we may not be looking close enough at and may not be looking for where Jesus is moving and what Jesus is doing and when Jesus is going to do it. So I'm so excited to continue in questions this week. To start off, the icebreaker is this: what is your favorite Christmas carol? If you were to have a whole gang come up to your door and you open the door and they're all in their nice fancy robes, what song do you hope they sing to you? Romans 5:6 says, "You see, at just the right time, when you were still powerless, Christ died for the ungodly." Describe something in your life that happened at the perfect time. Question number 2. What was the timing or situation for you when you first encountered Christ? Have you ever given a timely word to a friend or a group of people that they later told you that word or that encouragement helped them a lot? In the message, Eric talked about several reasons why Christ came at the perfect time. Which one of these reasons stood out to you? Many of the Jewish people, when Jesus came down on this earth, were not able to receive him for the first time. He came and they were waiting for a Messiah, but they completely missed who he was. How do you think that can happen to us in our everyday lives? Before we jump into question 6, I want to just preface this with, if there's questions that you guys are really diving deep in, don't feel the need to cut that stuff off in order to get to the other questions. And I think this one could be one of those where if conversation's going great, just dive into it. The goal of this content is to start the conversation and to point you to Jesus in some way. So however you get to that, we want to encourage that and that growth through that. So don't be afraid to not get through all the content as long as you're jumping into something deeply. And I love this question number 6, and I hope you guys are able to jump into it in a big way. How often do you find yourself thinking about the time when Jesus will come again? I think that's so interesting. And now that I have 2 young girls, McKenna, who's 2, and Macy, who's 9 months already now, 8 months, some months, I don't know. After the second, doesn't matter too much at that point. Anyway, now that I've had them, I've joked around with I don't have to worry about them dating because Jesus is going to come before that, right? I'm not even worried about that, right? How many of you have thought when is this actually going to happen? Are you looking for it? Are you wondering? Have some conversation about what that looks like. All right, groups, if you've got some time, jump ahead to the Digging Deeper section. There's a few different options in there. One of them speaks on Matthew 24 that looks a little bit more at what the day of the Lord is going to look like. And I think you'll find that quite fascinating if you have the time to jump into that. Also, there's a passage in 2 Peter 3 that is worth diving into if you've got a little bit of extra time. Otherwise, make sure, leaders, that you jump on the attendance. We love to know who's participating in groups with us and how we can walk with you better. So with that being said, I hope you guys all have a great week, and we will see you soon.